for Baccarat, and that goes in! Hugo Baccarat gives Flint City a 3-2. Buckley, oh, the ball falls to Buckley. One-on-one with Etheridge. What a save!
Welcome into the first ever MSN All-State Media Day for girls soccer. Jonathan Turner alongside Dan Stickrett.
Ball comes in, a good hit! 1-0. Shot, another save from Etheridge. Rebound, and it goes in the back of the net. The Bulldogs up 1-0. Burzma, but then for Vlasma! 3-0. Stewart Heights with a shot! Upper 90 and in!
Effectively today here on the Michigan Soccer Network, we are launching our new division of player recruitment videos.
Mario Canoe now finds Sock. Finds Sock's got a left-footed banger. He shoots it, and it's in! The Red Hawks equalize!
Hello, everybody, and welcome into the Michigan Sports Network. A beautiful view of downtown Detroit, just 25 minutes from Pontiac, Michigan, where today we have a matchup here of the Michigan Independent Athletic Conference as the ROEPER Rough Riders taking on the Livonia Clarenceville Trojans right here, produced by the Michigan Soccer Network. Jonathan Turner alongside Dan Stickrett. Happy to have you along wherever you're watching near and far. And today, this matchup is one in which two teams are fighting right now, sitting in tied for 6th place. And Dan, let's talk about these two teams here before we head to our first break.
Well, you look at ROEPER there, one game above 500 overall, but historically, the Michigan Independent Athletic Conference, boys soccer, girls soccer, it's one of the deepest leagues in Division IV. A lot of teams that have competed in this conference have done very well. It's been that way dating back to the 1980s. So ROEPER trying to climb the ranks here a little bit here before the end of the season. Livonia Churchill's in the same position. They're at 500 at 5-5-1 overall. ROEPER at 7-6-1, but neither of these teams are going to win the conference championship. Would love to win this game here today, get some momentum going. The state tournament starts in just 3 weeks.
That they will. We will step aside. Here we come back here. We'll get you some. We'll look at the standings, take a look at the weather, team comparisons, starting 11s, and so much more. ROEPER, Livonia Clarenceville, live on the Michigan Sports Network, coming up next.
Flint City AFC is back, and the movement is bigger than ever. Join the passion, the pride, and the energy as we kick off the 2025 season. It all starts Saturday, May 17th at 7 p.m., and we want you in the stands at Atwood Stadium. Don't miss a minute of the action. Get your tickets now at flintcityafc.com. This is your city, your club. Join the movement.
As the voice of Michigan student-athletes, the Student Advisory Council's role
is to convey the message of how high school sports are supposed to be played.
We are responsible for helping the MHSA maintain a positive and healthy atmosphere
in which interscholastic athletes can thrive.
We believe athletes should be competitive,
sportsmanlike, and excel academically.
We believe students in the stand should have fun,
but not take focus away from the game.
We believe coaches should act as teachers,
helping student-athletes develop while still keeping high school sports in perspective.
We believe that parents should always be positive role models
and be supportive of their child's decisions.
We believe officials commit their own time to high school sports.
and respect should always be shown and given to them.
The most important goal for student athletes is to enjoy high school sports
while keeping a high level of respect for all those involved in the game.
Enjoy the game.
Welcome back here into United Wholesale Mortgage Sports Complex here in Pontiac, Michigan. Roper, Livonia, Clarenceville, right here live on the Michigan Sports Network. Also live on the NFHS Network and Facebook and Twitter. So you can watch it just about anywhere here this evening. As we take a look at the current weather in Pontiac, Michigan, it was 80 degrees yesterday, Mr. Dan Stickrett. It is currently 54 degrees. And sunny, though. Not a cloud in the sky. We'll take a look here, though, at the current Michigan Independent Athletic Conference standings. There they are. And right there, I mean, even though they say 6 and 7, they're tied for 6. They're 2 and 4 with 6 points. Allen Park, Inner City Baptist sitting atop the table. They are 9-0 with 27 points. Plymouth Christian sitting there in second. Auburn Hills Oakland Christian sitting there in third at 3-1-1. And rounding out the bottom half, Lutheran Westland and Brighton Sherrill Stockwell Prep, who is currently 0-6. If we take a look at these team comparisons, here they are, Roper and Clarenceville. Very similar, these two teams. Again, look at this, 14 games played for Roper, just 11 for Clarenceville. But 7 wins, 6 losses, 1 tie for Roper, 5-5-1 for Clarenceville. Both teams are just separated by right now 6 points overall in all their matches. Goals for, though, is where the difference maker is here for Roper. They scored 32 goals. Clarenceville has only scored 23. You take a look now there at the goals against. That, again, is where things lie, right? 33 goals against, a -1 differential for Roper, and Clarenceville sitting there at -15 as you look there on your screen. So those are your team comparisons brought to you by Just Slabbed. And Dan, let's talk about these two teams. What do we expect from this matchup here today?
Well, you look at Livonia Clarenceville, they have one of the better sophomores in the MIAC, and Linnea Pepic, she was all-league first team last season as a freshman. She's an attacking midfielder. She has 16 goals on the 2025 campaign. They'll look to get her going here today. Bloomfield Hills Roper, a more veteran team. Natalia Salinas, she's a 3-time all-conference, either first or second team selection. Lydia Carlson is a senior captain and a fine goalkeeper in her outright. And Sophia Salinas, another senior. She was all-league first team last year and all-league second team as a sophomore a couple years ago. So they have a very experienced group up the spine here on the pitch. Roper will look to get a lot of those players going here this afternoon.
Well, that they will. We are finding that the game is delayed slightly. That's not necessarily uncommon in a high school game, but we'll step aside here for one more break before we come back and get you the starting 11s here for both these teams. You got Roper, Livonia, Clarenceville coming up live right here on the Michigan Soccer Network.
Looks great.
Oh. When termites show up, so do we. Terminix it.
looks great.
Oh.
When termites show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Are you looking to play at the next level? MSN is now offering player recruitment videos. We are excited to partner with you and your family in getting you to the next level. To learn more about our packages and what we offer, head over to the MichiganSoccerNetwork.com. Remember, your journey starts with a click.
Welcome back. In the United Wholesale Mortgage Sports Complex in Pontiac, Michigan, Jonathan Turner alongside Dan Stickrad. Happy to have you along wherever you're watching as we get ready for this matchup here this afternoon. And we'll take a look now here at your starting 11 and both sides right there on your screen. In goal here today for Clarenceville is Chloe Jones. She is in place of the senior goaltender, who I believe was injured and absent the last few days. But Dan, we take a look at this lineup, and you talked about it already. You talked about the impact players on this team. Anea Pepic, she's got 16 goals this season. Christina Black has 3 goals. Nadia Jackson, they have 4 goals. That makes up all the goals for this Livonia Clarenceville Trojans side. Head coach Megan Fitzgerald, she's assisted by Bree Ulrich and Nicole Murtaza. As we take a look now at the Roper varsity side, they're coached by Tyler Pemberton. In goal this afternoon, I don't know why, I think it's Lydia Carlson is in the goal, the captain, number 12. Gabrielle Webster up there as well. Isla Scott along with Caitlin Gruber. You've got Sophia Salinas, Natalie Salinas, Tatiana Williford. You've got Maeve Stott, Kennedy Anderson, Christian Padron, and Jaden Hertzberg are all in the 11 here today for Roper.
When you look at Livonia Clarence, that is a very young team. They list 8 sophomores and 2 freshmen on their varsity. In comparison, Bloomfield Hills Roper does have 6 seniors getting minutes here in the 2025 campaign. So will Roper's experience and upperclassmen shine, or will be a display of young talent for Livonia Clarence? And we'll find out here in just a few minutes. But again, both these teams are trying to build some momentum going into that Division IV district tournaments here in 3 weeks. 3 weeks from today that the state tournament does begin already across the state of Michigan. Over 450 schools are looking to make runs in the postseason, but this is still conference play. Close to 70 leagues across the state of Michigan, knee deep in conference title chases, trying to figure out, sort out the pecking order in the final standings. You know, when you look at the standings in these leagues, a lot of times conferences will allot you X amount of medals for all conference first team, all conference second team, or honorable mention, however they pick. But it's a lot of times it's based on where you finish in your standings. So these games do matter, not just in team-wise, you know, to build momentum, but to move up in those standings. But you're also looking at potentially how many all-conference medals you'll get. The MIAC picks a first and second team for boys soccer and girls soccer, usually about 11 or 12 players per team. So this game could have implications about where these teams fall in the final standings. There's still a couple weeks of the league seasons left to be played. And you look at that conference standings, these 2 teams are tied in 6, but in terms of the conference championship, the top 3 teams are pretty much still in that title hunt. Intercity Baptist has 15 points within the conference. Plymouth Christian Academy, which won the MIAC last year, has 13, and Auburn Hills Oakland Christian sits in 3rd with 11 conference points. And farther down the standings, both Rochester Hills Lutheran Northwest and Southfield Christian are tied in 4th at 9 points. So the top 3 teams mathematically could still possibly win this conference championship. There could be a co-championship. Last year, in the last week of the league season, Plymouth Christian rallied. They were down 1-0 against Auburn Hills Oakland Christian, came back and scored 2 late goals to defeat them, and then they had a makeup game with Lutheran Westland, whom the Eagles defeated, so Plymouth Christian was your outright champion. Last year, 2 years ago, Auburn Hills Oakland Christian won the MIAC.
Okay, thank you.
This league has a lot of tradition, again, in boys soccer and girls soccer going back to the 1980s, 40-plus years. A lot of schools from this conference have made deep runs. Regional finals, Final Four, state runners-up, state champions. We expect of this league, if it sticks around for another few more decades, we'll be able to add to that historic lore.
I just really like and enjoy the fact that we receive rosters that are number ordered in. That has been the biggest challenge that we've had, I think, and faced here over the last many months and whatnot. But if you are watching right now, we are available on YouTube. There is a vote right now. Polling is open. As the polls were open here on Tuesday, they are officially open on YouTube as well. Roper right now has your percentage of victory here is at 60%, and Clarenceville has 40%. Nobody has yet to vote for a draw, so I guess that's a good thing. But either way, we are excited to have you along as we're moments away from getting this game underway. I think we're still waiting for a third official as the referees will make their way back, towards the sideline. As well, Roper and Clarenceville are ready to go, but yeah, maybe the officials might not quite be as ready. Again, we appreciate you stopping by. Don't forget, subscribe, like us, and share this with your friends and family. Make sure you are getting involved in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from, who you're rooting for. All those things are great. We'd like to have you, the viewer, engaged in this process just as much as we are. Again, we are still waiting for the third official to make his or her way here to the field in Pontiac. And it is the we talk about this. It's spring and winter are the two main seasons here in Michigan, and the third one will be the orange cone season.
Orange barrel.
That might be the reason as to why the third official has not quite made it here to the park yet. But be that as it may, Dan, these two teams very similar in regards to their makeup. And again, when you start talking about Division 4, and Division 4 is a division that there's a lot of parity in that division, right? You can talk about all the other divisions across the state, and when I say parity, you see the likes of Royal Oak Shrine, who's in that, who's been top of the table as far as top of the #1 ranked team in the state of Michigan right now. But you look at the rest of that, there's been a lot of moving pieces in Division 4. We haven't seen any honorable mentions yet, but is a Roper, is a Clarenceville, are one of these teams here possibly in that conversation of being an honorable mention, or are they still kind of outside looking in?
Well, I think there might be a little outside looking in just because both teams are hovering around that 500 mark. But I will say that the strength of the schedule, Roper, traditionally they'll play a pretty tough schedule, as a lot of the teams do in the MIAC. I wrote a story last fall. It was more geared towards the boys soccer history of the league, but there's been a multitude of state champions have come out of this conference. And even some of the schools that used to be in the MIAC, like in Ann Arbor Green Hills and Grosse Pointe Woods, University of Liggett, they're now in the Catholic High School League. They left less than a decade ago, but those teams have also done well in girls soccer and boys soccer. So it is a very tough league. It has always been a tough league. Even in the small school circuit like the Catholic High School League and some of their lower divisions, it's the same way. There's a lot of good teams in these leagues that do sometimes have the makeup to make deep runs, but really only 3 teams will win this conference this year. But this game means something. They all mean something. I mean, even if you are a squad struggling, say at this point of the year, you only got a couple wins, you're just looking to improve, increase your goals scored, lower that goals against average, add a couple more wins or ties to, just build that momentum. It doesn't necessarily, not.
Oh, there it is.
There he is.
Running on in.
Looks like he's got a kind of a relay stick running the third leg of the 1,600-meter relay.
Well, I love it. So Sam Fisher, our camera operator out there today, is making sure he's grabbing the official running on in. This is great stuff. This is made for TV right there. Is a lot of other important matchups happening out here today, though. Auburn Hills Oakland Christian, they have a matchup here this afternoon as well, as it looks as though They're going to kick the ball around here again. We were just looking at this because, you know, the friend of the network and Patrick Reyes, who's actually been on the ranking show on Sunday nights, they have a matchup here today. They actually sent us a message. They're playing. It's senior night for them out at Auburn Hills Oakland Christian. So they're taking on Lutheran Northwest here today. So. And here we go. We are officially underway here at United Wholesale Mortgage Sports Complex in Pontiac, Michigan. Alongside my broadcast partner, Dan Stickert, I'm Jonathan Turner. Happy to have you along wherever you're watching here on this Thursday afternoon, or for a 4:27 p.m. kickoff, just 12 minutes after the scheduled time. Roper are in their black and white kits, going left to right on your screen, and going right to left are the Livonia Clarenceville Trojans. As this will start off with an immediate corner kick here for the Rough Riders.
Looks like Sophia Salinas.
Yep, Salinas will take this kick. Ball was put in right towards that near post, kind of popped down, and Clarenceville will look to play this up, and Roper will win it right back. Good pull back from Salinas, as defending there was Brooke Hughes. And this might go out for another corner, and it does. So second corner of the match, just 60 seconds in. And well, this is a telltale sign, Dan, of what's to come here in this game.
Rough Riders come out in attack mode here in the first minute and a half. Again, I mentioned in the pregame, Sophia Salinas and Natalia Salinas, both senior captains, along with Lydia Carlson, who is the goalkeeper for the Rough Riders.
Ball's played high and towards that near post and poked right away. Corner number 3 coming up. Oh, actually, I think they're going to say goal kick. Well, we have a replay of that. Why not, right, Dan? Because I don't know. I feel like that might not have been. I feel like that might have been.
Unless it was kind of bent out of bounds before curling back in.
Well, we'll take another look at it in a second, but. I feel like that one was off of Clarenceville. This ball is played in and one right back by Roper. Good work to pick that back up. That's Padron. That's the senior forward. Is this ball? Good work defensively. Maddie Wallace. The ball way back. Now the back line of the Trojans. And a miscommunication. Third keeled. Ball played inside to Salinas. Oh, she misplayed that. She was wide open. She had some space, too. It's Nadia Jackson, who's got 4 goals on the season. Ball is played into the box. Salinas looks maybe slide it back. No, she doesn't. Hits off the goalkeeper. She goes out of play. And is finally kind of cleared out of danger. Picked back up, though, by Kennedy Anderson.
Salinas tried tucking that into the near post, and Chloe Jones got a foot on it to stop that shot, trying to tuck it in, maybe even deflect it off the goalkeeper. Just 3 minutes into the game, Roper already has a pair of corner kicks, shot on goal as well.
All played back into Salinas. Nice little pass. Now a shot from distance, and that will be picked up by the goalkeeper in Chloe Jones. Again, a newcomer, freshman, having to step into that role. And when we had a chance to talk with the head coach and Megan Fitzgerald here earlier today, she was talking about that. It's only her second appearance, her first start. As she's filling in for the regular goalkeeper, is up this near side comes Salinas. Looks to cross it into the 18. That's finally poked away. Last touched off of Gabby Stewart, the junior defender, and out for another corner. So 4 corner kicks in, Dan. We're only 4 minutes into this game. There's another look here at that corner kick from a moment ago where I told you, I was like, I don't know if this actually, was deflected or not as it made its way towards out of touch. I felt like it hit off of Clarenceville. This is where our chance to find out as this ball is played in. Maybe they're saying it didn't go in.
Yeah, maybe they said it when they first was kicked, it kind of curled out of bounds, because that clearly went off a defender at that right post.
We're back in live play as Salinas will put this one in again towards the middle now. Over everybody, a shot is going to hit up into the face of a Clarenceville defender. Now here they come in transition. Great work up that far side. That's Christina Black. Black kind of pulls the ball back and give it right back to Roper. The whistle will be blown. I think we're going to stop the clock. Nope, clock is still running. Nope, now it's going to stop. And in high school, if you didn't know, as the rules do dictate, when there's an injury, referee will, in fact, stop the clock. We did see a player come off. I think that was Ava Dedivanovic. She steps off with 35-11 to go here in this first half. We're back underway at United Wholesale Mortgage Sports Complex. Beautiful afternoon for soccer. 54 degrees outside right now as Williford swing and a miss by the Clarenceville defender. That was, I believe, number 20, Hai Chen. Ball played inside to Salinas. Salinas, good little cutback. She'll make her way up. Finds a seam, but then that one's cleared away by the Trojans.
You know, you look at the history of, again, about some of these programs. I'll give you like Roper's boys team won a state championship about a dozen years ago. They had a Division I player on the roster, later went on to play at University of Notre Dame. Last year in girls soccer, Auburn Hills Oakland Christian reached the semis. Plymouth Christian got to the Final Four here, I believe 3 years ago. Grosse Pointe Woods University Liggett and Ann Arbor Green Hills won state championships when they were part of the MIAC. They're no longer in the conference, but Allen Park Intercity Baptist boys teams won a multitude of state championships dating back to the early 1980s. Their girls team is 9-0-0. They're off to their best start in program history. So there's a team that isn't ranked right now from the conference, but is playing as good as anybody, could possibly make a run here in 2025.
This ball comes in off the corner from Salinas. Checking it down is Anderson and out for a goal kick. So 5 corners in the first 6 minutes of this game. If we continue on this trend, then we might have 40 corners to go as they're averaging 1 corner kick a minute.
Just unable to combine for a header or a volley shot off these corner kicks. 5 corners, 2 shot attempts, only 1 shot on goal here in the first 7 minutes of play.
Ball put back in play. Thomas gets a touch on it. Ball makes its way to Padron. Looking to find some space. Good defensive work. Play this one up. Back into Salinas. Ball on her left foot. Lays it off. Finding Thomas. Good little touch. That ball's into Salinas and is right at Jones. So a good look there from Natalia Salinas. Ball is played right back out.
A little history on Roper's girls soccer program. They were one of the early birds in terms of adding girls soccer. Their program was launched in the late 1970s, but in the early 90s, late 80s, the girls soccer program went away for a while, but it was right around the late 90s, early 2000s. That former coach Mike Ruddy was instrumental trying to bring
this ball far
back.
Post goes just past Jones and out for a goal kick. We'll take a look here at that previous play here a moment ago, and from Natalia Salinas, she fires one in just inside the 18, and this one right at Jones. Good look, just unfortunately not able to get it past Jones. It's still 0-0 here, 8 minutes in. Salinas right there, trying to win this one back. Bella Jones defensively for the Trojans. Ball played inside, finding Stott. Now Stott will fire one. That one's blocked, now cleared up. Seeing if now Jackson can get this one going for the Trojans, who've yet to really get past it and over midfield. as it's been all Roper here in the early going. Jackson once again. All played up, finding Salinas.
Nice ball movement by Roper, getting a bunch of different players' touches.
Oh, it's played up from Salinas to Salinas. Fortunately, the sister connection could not connect in the final third. It goes out for a goal kick.
There's the Roper Booster Club, cooking up some hot dogs and some candy over there.
Where's our hot dogs, man? You know, they never offer us hot dogs. And granted, I know, I mean, I get it. You know. Jackson will settle it down, putting it up over midfield and tracking it down defensively is Roper. Good work by Wallace, finding number 8, Christina Black. Black will look to play up, but that's one back by number 2 and Gabriel Webster. Now Roper. Ball played into Salinas. Receiving it from her sister Natalia. Now Salinas. She'll look to fire at Pasta. Now Salinas up and in the 11th minute. And just like that, Roper puts one in to make it 1-0.
Salinas takes the ball up the spine, beats a couple defenders, and with that left foot tucks it into the far post. So on the 5th shot of the game by Bloomfield Hills, Roper finds the back of the net. The Rough Riders have dominated in the early minutes of this game, but now have that 1-0 advantage. We'll see if they'll be able to add on to that momentum here over the next few minutes.
We're back underway. 1-0 as number 14, Salinas, gets that goal. Just like this, maybe Clarenceville having an opportunity, but one back by the Rough Riders, but right back up top. Salinas now, again, more space. Their Trojans really hanging back. Now her sister Salinas puts one in. And just like that, it's 2-0.
Two consecutive shots. Found the back of the net for the Bloomfield Hills Rough Riders. They were struggling to put shots on target in those first 10 minutes, but they have been spot on here in the last couple minutes. Those goals coming less than a minute apart. Open up a 2-0 advantage.
With 28:31 to go in this first half, Roper has taken a 2-0 lead. Sometimes all it takes, Dan, is for one to go in, and then you can just uncork and just continue to build on that as this ball will go out of play on that far side. Maddie Wallace will throw this one in. And your first time stopping by on YouTube, get in the comments. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know who you're rooting for, where you're watching from. Is this ball on that far side? That's cleared away by Tatiana Williford. Christina Black looking for a teammate. This one's thrown in. Good work. That's Jackson. And it'll end up going out. I believe this is going to go off for a corner. So the first corner of the match here coming in 13 minutes into this game. See if now the Trojans can find some life here. Nea Pepic will take this corner kick. Again, she's got 16 goals on the season for the Trojans. Ball comes in, not a bad ball at all. That's headed away right at the top of the 18. Tracking it down is Natalia Salinas. She'll play it out wide, maybe looking to get it back. She will. Look at this. Salinas already has a goal, scored a goal here just a few moments ago. Ball makes its way into the 18. Now she'll look to fire one, and that's blocked. I mean, the Trojans are sitting back, Dan, more so than I've seen in a long time, as this ball now will be fired. It's blocked. Actually hit off of Gabby Stewart. I can't think the last time I saw 4 defenders just hanging out at the 18 the entire game.
Clarenceville a little bit least experience on that back line. Again, they've given up 38 goals in 11 games, so they're setting back. They do have a couple of offensive talented players that have been known to finish opportunities this season. Mania Pepic, we just talked about here a minute ago. She was all-league first team last year as a freshman with the 16 goals so far this season. But they're trying to shore up that back line, and when you have a backup goalkeeper in there that's only played in a couple of games as a goalkeeper this season, they're looking, trying to protect that final third of the field, not let this game get too far out of hand. Taking a gamble, because you're not going to create as many chances that way, but at the same time, you don't want this game to get out of hand, before the half.
So it was a collision there as Salinas goes down. We'll see a free kick coming up now here for the Rough Riders.
Chip this in around the 6-yard line. Make sure players are making runs to both the near and far posts. Try to get a header or a volley towards that framework.
Salinas will stand over this ball. Looks to put this one into the 18. One touched up off the field goal upright was Natalia Salinas. This one will find its way in the back of the net, but it won't be good for anything. One back by Roper once again. Just like that, Padron was inside the 18, one back by Salinas now. So slotted in right to her sister, just can't get over the ball and puts it up and over.
Roper creating chances. They've had 5 corner kicks, 10 shot attempts, 4 on target. They're up 2-0 here as both goals came here less than 5 minutes ago. They're getting chances. They're just putting a lot of shots, wide or well over that crossbar. A little more concentration when you're on that doorstep of keeping your head down, trying to get a shot on target. Again, you're facing a backup goalkeeper and a team that has 8 sophomores and 2 freshmen. So Clarenceville, a very young team this season, kind of in the rebuilding mode. Roper needs to look to their veterans to kind of keep adding to their advantage.
Up that far side, right into the hands of Carlson.
When you coach, smaller schools at like the Division IV enrollment size, it's a mixed bag, and it's not just with soccer. It's that way with every sport across the board. But you might have some players in Division IV who do play at a high level of club soccer, very experienced, well coached, coming into the high school season. But you also will have a lot of times you will not have a junior varsity program, so everybody will be on the varsity, and it's a mixed bag in terms of. You might have a college recruit, but working with a 9th grade freshman who's never really played soccer before, or maybe just only played rec soccer, is not as experienced. So the talent levels do vary, but there are a lot of good teams in Division IV. There's a lot of parity, and sometimes it's not like like Royal Oak Shrine is the #1 team here the last month. They've played a tough schedule, but you can never guarantee that school is going to win it all. Last year was a great example in Division IV. Jackson Lumen Christie was only 7th place in their conference. They were struggling in the first half of the season, but late in the year they had a good goalkeeper, that a very good center back who's going to go to a Division I college. They shored up that defense. They started to get some momentum, and they made a run to that state championship in Division IV, upsetting many teams along the way. So you look, could there be another kind of upstart team not in the rankings that makes that run to the Final Four and maybe competes for a state championship? It's happened, you know, numerous times in the past. It's all about peaking at the right time, getting the right players in the right positions, staying healthy. Sometimes it's all about finishing. You might not have a lot of chances in a game when you're deep in the tournament, but it's all about finishing those rare opportunities. The more you win, especially late in the regular season and in the tournament, you start to get that swagger. You start to play with a lot more confidence. So we'll see in Division IV, will there be a surprise team that makes a deep run here in 2025?
All settled down. Salinas makes her way into the 18. Ball played into the 18 from Salinas. Heavy touch. Ball was loose. And ball will go out of play. So a goal kick coming up.
Getting close to that midpoint of the first half. The Michigan High School Athletic Association, high school varsity teams play 40-minute halves. No overtime in the regular season in the Michigan Independent Athletic Conference.
Just reached the halfway point as Salinas will turn on the ball, playing it into her sister. Natalia, good cutback. Ball on her right foot, now on her left foot. She'll cut it back again. She'll fire one. It goes right to the goalkeeper, Chloe Jones.
So Jones has faced 5 shots on target. She's scooped up 3 saves in this first 20 minutes of play.
Up that far side now. Good little battle as his ball is played back up towards midfield. Picked up by Hertzberg. Let's play it out wide, and Garbage plays it up that far side. 18:53 to go. Good ball played up to Maddie Wallace. Last touched off of Roper, the hit off of Williford. Salinas. Oh, she is met by contact. We'll keep playing, says the referee, as that advantage really didn't materialize at all, but he'll bring it back. Kind of surprised we don't see a yellow card there, and I understand why. I get it. You know that, but that really did seem like stopping a promising attack, Dan. You know what I mean?
Sometimes fouls are warranted, especially if the other team has numbers. You don't want to obviously blade a player to the point where you draw a card, but nevertheless, free kick coming up for Roper. It's been somewhat of a clean game, just 3 fouls in this contest combined between these two sides.
All played up. Taking another look at that foul. Here it comes. Again, you think about a promising attack. Salinas is looking to make that room, and again, you know, there's not like an intent there. Just late to the ball. But that's a look at the foul. Get back underway here now. Was a goal kick underway. Edsack hot dogs are free today, too. Clarenceville just got 5 players here taking APs. So, Ed Sack in the comments. Appreciate it there, sir. Ed Sack, the athletic director at Roper High School, as well as the boys head coach. Is ball picked up here by Stott. She'll play it out wide. Now Salinas scored that second goal here back in the 12th. She'll play it out wide to her sister. Salinas cuts it back. Maybe a shot now from distance. This will make its way through traffic, but deflected. Ball makes its way now back to the foot. I believe that was Maeve Stott, now out for the 6th corner of the afternoon.
You mentioned Ed Sack. He is the boys soccer coach at Bloomfield Hills Roper. He is the head track coach as well, the athletic director, a teacher. That's kind of commonplace at small schools where you have someone that has a multitude of titles. Ed Sack is a very busy man.
My question, though, is do you think that Ed Sack he packs his lunch in a sack? As this ball is played in off the corner and out for corner number 7. I know that's a pun, but I still figure I would ask, or do you think he brings a lunch pail?
I don't know. He's a hardworking guy. Maybe, They talk about the old Detroit Pistons 20 years ago, putting, the pail, the lunchbox, going to work. Again, that's very common, though, for an AD at a small school. They'll also coach a sport or 2 or 3. They'll also teach some classes. They're very, then they're trying to get the school to host camps in different sports.
All played out wide. Cut back by Salinas. That's Natalia Salinas. Sister's right there. Plays it right back to her. Out 35 yards from goal. Cuts it back again. Ball's on her right foot. She shoots towards that near post and deflected off of Bella Jones and out for corner number 8. There was a drought there, Dan. Almost. The last corner kick came, I believe, in the 6th minute. That was when I said the last one, corner number 5. We've had 3 corner kicks here just in the last 2 minutes alone.
Just around 15 minutes left in the first half. Now, the Michigan Independent Athletic Conference, I'll talk about this after this corner kick and make sure there's no goals. It's kind of a unique conference. It's had a lot of members over the years, but it was just under a decade ago where they allowed a couple public schools in. So Livonia Clarenceville is obviously a public school, and then Whitmore Lake, which does not have a solo soccer program. A couple of their athletes do compete over with Division II Pinckney. But they allowed public schools in their conference. There's been a handful of small, schools in the MEAC that have closed down here in the last 15 years or so. But it's predominantly been a league of either parochial or private schools. So Roper is a private school. Auburn Hills, Oakland Christian, Plymouth Christian, and Allen Park Intercity Baptist. Obviously, those are Christian schools. Rochester Hills Lutheran Northwest, the name says it all. That's a Lutheran high school. But now there's 2 public schools within their conference. Less than a decade ago, I mentioned earlier in the broadcast that Grosse Pointe Woods University League at Ann Arbor Green Hills left the MIAC to join the Catholic High School League. Canton Agape Christian closed, Ypsilanti Calvary Christian closed, Warren Macomb Christian shuttered their doors. Newport Lutheran South, which only lasted about 15 years or so ago, they closed their doors. So it's been a lot of small schools, unfortunate low enrollments that are no longer open. So the league kind of change their format a little bit to allow some, public schools that are smaller in nature, but we're looking for a new conference home that was more fitting in terms of their athletic departments. So that's why we see schools like, again, Whitmore Lake, Livonia Clarenceville in the MIAC here in the last decade or so.
No question about that. 13 minutes to go here in this opening half. Want to thank you for tuning in, whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. It doesn't matter. We are live right now out at United Wholesale Mortgage Sports Complex in Pontiac, Michigan, as Roper have scored 2 goals in the 11th and the 12th minute to have a 2-0 lead here in this first half. Jonathan Turner alongside Dan Stickrat here on the MI Sports Network. Produced by the Michigan Soccer Network as this ball up that far side. One back by Maeve Stott, looking for Salinas. Ball makes its way out here towards this near side now. Good work defensively. Salinas, she's now inside the 18. Kind of pushed aside, and now this ball will be knocked out for another corner. Great defensive work there by Nadia Jackson. So that's the 9th corner of the afternoon. And Dan, when I say I am multitasking, I am multitasking at its finest.
Calling a game, producing a game, you're working on setting up some broadcasts for this weekend where we have, I don't know, 6,000 games this weekend?
It seems like that, Dan, as this ball is played in towards this near post. Ball popped up. It might make its way in the back of the net, and it does. And I'm not quite sure who got a foot on that one. I believe it might have been Maeve Stott, number 19. We'll take another look at it here.
Looked like 19 and 7 were kind of side by side there in that mixing bowl. Let's take a look. So Salinas clearly takes this looping corner kick into the center part of the box.
Just kind of pops up. It was not 19. It was number 7. That was Isla Stott. So they're just giving away candy now at the stadium. And look, there's someone just walking around giving out candy, Dan. That's just not right. Just not right. But 3-0 here now in favor of Roper.
To remind everybody, it's Sunday night at 8 p.m., the original high school girls soccer ranking show.
The OG.
The OG on the National Soccer Network. On Sunday night, 8 to 9 p.m., myself and Patty Cesarini will count down the top 15 teams plus honorable mentions as provided to us by the Michigan High School Soccer Coach Association. We've talked about that. We were the first network in state history to launch a weekly ranking show where the Coach Association has fed us their rankings, and we take 45 minutes to an hour every Sunday night in the fall and spring to break down those rankings, talk about conference races, the top teams.
Beautiful shot coming in from Salinas that ends up going
See that
off
wind
of Jones.
Wind is starting to pick up a little bit.
Bringing up the 10th corner of the game.
So Sophia Salinas, the captain, the senior attacking midfielder for Bloomfield Hills Roper. She's a do-it-all, jack-of-all-trades type of player. She has scored a goal. She's facilitating. She's taken a majority of the set pieces. She's taken all 10 corner kicks here today as there's a shot on target.
This is bouncing around. Finally makes its way back to Salinas. Now one touch off a defender. Pop back up. Jones tries to get there. Now it's headed away. Salinas. She'll lay it off. Top of the 18. Nobody there for a Roper. And now Jackson will take a cut at it. Ball makes its way down to Christina Black, and she'll bring it up over midfield. At least attempt to. This ball makes its way out. Let's take another look at this sequence of events. This ball is inside the 18. I mean, just a lot of chaos. Ball's just kind of bouncing around somehow, and then it's headed away. Just a lot going on in that moment.
That's why I like to call that penalty box, especially off corner kicks and set pieces, the mixing goal, because the ball served in there, it bounces around, there's a shot up, deflects off a goalkeeper, deflects off a player, comes back out, another player gets a touch on it. You never know what's going to happen, but when you're in those situations, the ball is served in the box, just try to put anything towards that goal. I mean, even if you don't score directly off your kick, it does deflect off a defender into the back of the net. So Roper's defense has done a great job. They have not had to do too much work here in the first 32 minutes of play. Clarenceville have only had one corner kick, no shot attempts in this match. They've done a great job of keeping the ball out of Livonia Clarenceville sophomore Minea Pepik's foot. She is one of the more dangerous players in the entire MIAC. Again, making that all-league first team as a freshman. There she is dancing with the ball right now.
Goes down hard. Padron brings it up over midfield, at least tried to, but one back by Chanel Qatari. Really ended up being played out. This near side. See Nadia Jackson sliding over to take this one. 5 o'clock here. Just past over 5 o'clock. We have a new pope. Now, I'm not saying we all, but I mean, there's a new pope that was elected today. And for the first time in in history of the Catholic Church, there's an American pope for the first time. It's pretty amazing, right, Dan?
Yeah, considering how long the Catholic Church has been around.
This ball is loose. Makes his way now to Sophia Salinas, playing up this near side to her sister Natalia. They'll play a little back and forth. She'll cut it back. Looking back to Natalia. Remember, she scored a goal back in the 12th. She'll make her way to the 18. She'll fire a shot that deflects, hits off of Bella Jones. Now Jackson. It's finally poked away. Last touched off the foot of Sadie Bagney. I think I say it's a corner. No, it's a goal kick, I believe. We talked about the weather here earlier. 53 degrees now here in Pontiac, Michigan. I will say this, that free hot dogs do sound really good right now, Dan.
You know, you and I just ate a couple salads a couple hours ago. But we always seem to migrate up talking about food during a lot of our broadcasts.
Well, that we do. Well, Ed Sack brought it up, though.
Yeah, true.
I mean, to be fair, he brought it up. So I do not take credit for that, nor will I ever.
Is Ed Sack not at track practice right now? Is he the official grill master for the Bloomfield Hills ROEPER Booster Club as well? I mean, he is a jack of all trades individual. Involved with all things ROEPER for about 30 years now that he's been on staff.
Pepe can't keep the ball at her feet, but pulled back by Webster. A little battle here on the near side with 5 minutes to go in this first half. Coming up here at halftime, we will step aside for some breaks, give you some commercials. Be back here for more the second half after those breaks. Salinas. Finding Salinas. The Salinas connection. We'll call it here today, Dan, is now Salinas down by the end line. Sliding it across, right up at the top of the 18 for Natalia, and she puts it up and over.
Sophia Salinas had the first goal. Added a pair of assists. Her sister Natalia Salinas scored the second goal, and the third goal, which came off a corner kick from Sophia Salinas, was knocked in, kind of that goal mouth scrum by number 7. Ilso Stott, a freshman midfielder for ROEPER. So 3 different goal scorers for the Rough Riders here in the first half, which were down inside 5 minutes. 3:18 to be precise left up in that scoreboard.
I'll play up that far side for Salinas, and this one will make its way back to Thirkield. She'll just touch it out. Salinas Ball on her right foot, she'll fire it. It's blocked or deflected towards the corner now and out for another corner. This is corner number 11 here in the first half alone. Salinas will slide over. She's taking all the corner kicks here this afternoon. All played in. Looking for Padron. Hard collision. Now Pepic. She's met by Salinas. Good defensive work from her as this one will make its way out of touch. This cuts it back. Good defensive work from Ivanovic. I think it was actually Pepic involved in that play. Ball thrown in by Jackson. Webster looks to play it back, and it's too much pace. Gruber could not connect with it. Think of that Gruber, I think of that Saturday Night Live skit, McGruber. As Jackson bring the ball up, and good win back by Webster. Jackson, he looks to fire one. She does, and it goes right into the hands of Lydia Carlson.
So first shot of the afternoon for the Trojans. First save by Lydia Carlson, the senior captain, between the pipes for Roper here this afternoon.
Look at this, Salinas makes her way into the 18, slots it, and that's cleared away.
Couldn't tell if that was an actual corner kick or goal kick that was sent over, cleared by that corner flag.
Look at that, I think.
We're in the waning seconds here of a half, looks like.
I think we are, Dan, we are officially, they're going to say 5 minutes. They put 5 minutes on that clock. Normally it's 10, but either way, we will step aside here. It's 3-0 here in favor of Roper. They come into this one, and they score not one, not two, but 3 goals. This is the first one of the afternoon. That was Sophia Salinas, and then Natalia Salinas here in the 12th. So an assist and a goal for Sophia as that one finds the back of the net. And just like that here, this third goal coming in off the corner and is put in the back of the net by none other than number 7. Isla Stout. Just pops it up in the back of the net. It will go. We will step aside. You're watching MHSAA on the Michigan Soccer Network. Be back for more after this.
As the voice of Michigan student athletes, the Student Advisory Council's role
is to convey the message of how high school sports are supposed to be played.
We are responsible for helping the MHSAA maintain a positive and healthy atmosphere
in which interscholastic athletes can thrive.
We believe athletes should be competitive,
sportsmanlike, and excel academically.
We believe students in the stand should have fun,
but not take focus away from the game.
We believe coaches should act as teachers,
helping student athletes develop while still keeping high school sports in perspective.
We believe that parents should always be positive role models
and be supportive of their child's decisions.
We believe officials commit their own time to high school sports,
and respect should always be shown and given to them.
The most important goal for student athletes is to enjoy high school sports
while keeping a high level of respect for all those involved in the game.
Enjoy the game.
Flint City AFC is back, and the movement is bigger than ever. Join the passion, the pride, and the energy as we kick off the 2025 season. It all starts Saturday, May 17th at 7 p.m., and we want you in the stands at Atwood Stadium. Don't miss a minute of the action. Get your tickets now at flintcityafc.com. This is your city, your club. Join the movement. Whether you're a beginner coach or a seasoned professional, one thing remains the same: the passion to teach and inspire the next generation of players. Now imagine a place where you could share your coaching knowledge, connect with others, and create a lasting impact. Welcome to the ultimate coaching community, where coaches from all levels can create and share their own courses. Whether you have years of experience or you're just getting started, this is your chance to make your voice heard. Create your own personalized courses, share drills, strategies, and tips, and watch as your knowledge reaches coaches from all corners of the soccer world. With a platform designed for sharing, learning, and growing, you're not just teaching the game, you're creating a community of like-minded coaches, all striving to be the best they can be. Together, we'll elevate the game and support one another to be better, stronger coaches.
Welcome back here in the United Wholesale Mortgage Sports Complex in Pontiac, Michigan. Jonathan Turner alongside Dan Stickrat. Happy to have you along for the ride wherever you're watching near and far, as we are moments away from getting this second half underway. 3-0 at the half. Sophia Salinas, Natalie Salinas, and Isla Stott, the freshman, all with goals in this one. So 3 different goal scorers, but so far I think the story in this one is Sophia Salinas has been involved in every single play so far in this game.
She's playing like an all-league first-teamer and a senior should. She's got a goal and 2 assists. Roper's offense, they have not been firing in all cylinders in terms of putting shots on target, but they've had 18 total shot attempts, 8 on goal, 11 corner kicks, just 3 goals to show for all that effort. Clarenceville's back line, they've been playing 4 or 5 players back, taking a gamble offensively. They've held Roper to 3 goals. We'll see if this game opens up a little bit in the second half. Clarenceville's going to get back into this game. They got to start creating some more chances, get some shot attempts. They only had 1 shot in the last 2 minutes of the first half, and they had 1 corner kick about the midpoint of the first half. That is all the offense that the Trojans have been able to generate. They're down 3-0 here as we just started the second half. See if either team makes any types of adjustments.
Ed Sack did say 5-minute halftime since we started late. You know, that's just it's just unfortunate for the players because they need that break. I mean, we need the break, Dan, more than anything else. I mean, 10 minutes, man, just not enough. As this ball slotted up towards Salinas. Salinas will make her way to the 18 now. Salinas does not get a clean touch. Now she does. Ball now on her left foot and in the back of the net. Sophia Salinas gets goal number 2 of the afternoon. It's 4-0.
Salinas, 2 goals, 2 assists, bookend goals. She scored that first goal, assisted on the second 2. The senior captain providing a ton of offensive spark here today. She has emerged as the go-to player for these Rough Riders this season.
Back underway. So it's 4-0 in favor of Roper. Jackson to fire one from distance, and this goes right in the hands of Carlson.
Shot was actually wide of target, but Carlson there to scoop up that ball. No one made a run to that far side. Jackson did a little bit of work up the spine of the field. Just no teammate to kind of scoop up that ball as it kind of rolled harmlessly through the box, and Carlson was there to pick it up. There you see Pepic kind of dancing with the ball. She again is their most gifted player.
Ball is fired from distance. This will go well wide.
Pair of shot attempts, nothing on target here in the first couple minutes of the second half for Livonia Clarenceville. And they played a lot of players back on defense in the first 40 minutes of play. Looking to ignite some offense here. They're down 4-0 at this stage. They don't want this game to get too far out of hand or even have it end in a mercy. So take some gambles, try to get a goal or two. Make a game of it.
All played up over midfield. Taya Salinas. Out wide to Salinas again. Anderson played the ball into the 18. Incoming Bella Jones. All played back. Thomas. Salinas. Salinas. Good cutback. Ball on her left foot, now on her right foot. She'll dribble through and into the back of the net. And just like that, the Salinas sisters have 4 goals on the afternoon.
So Natalia Salinas getting her second tally of the afternoon. Kind of dancing through traffic. She picked up the ball from her sister outside the 18, weaved through 3 players, and tucks one into that left goal post. So 5-0 advantage for the Rough Riders. Still a lot of time left up in that clock. 36:41 left.
All goes into Carlson, right into her hands.
So 2 shot attempts here in the second half, both resulting in shots on frame, both resulting in goals. Bloomfield Hills Roper has extended their advantage to 5-0 here early in the second half. 2 teams came into today's action at 2-4-0 in the league, so they were tied for 6th. Roper in complete and total control of this game here at United Wholesale Mortgage.
Makes its way out. Again, another goal kick coming up. So 5 goals in this one. Again, 4 goals have been scored by the Salinas sisters in this one.
Sophie Salinas with 2 goals and 3 assists. Sister Natalia Salinas has a pair of goals as well. We talked on that pregame about the leadership. They have 6 seniors on this team, looking for those type of players to produce. They have done so here today against a very youthful Livonia Clarenceville side.
Good defensive work by Webster.
Webster and that Rough Riders defense just allowing 3 shot attempts and only 1 shot on frame here. They're not facing a ton of pressure. Although Clarenceville has picked up the pace a little bit here in the second half. Roper looking to get another shutout. They came into today's game 7-6-1 overall, but 5 of their 7 victories ended with a clean sheet, so they're looking to grab a 6th shutout of the season if they can hold on to this shutout here today. Still around 35 minutes left, so plenty of time for Clarenceville to at least get a goal or two, and plenty of time for Roper to tack on a few more as well.
Running onto it is Jackson. She might have a breakaway. She does. Into the 18 she'll go. She'll have to fire one, and it will go wide of that near post.
Jackson, she's a senior midfielder. She's one of the leading goal scorers and assist players on the Trojans roster.
How big is the ball? 13. We had 17 last year. It was the biggest ever. This year was 13.
Up this near side. Epic.
Epic trying to take on 3 defenders there on the near side.
This ball is played in. Make its way out.
Minutes of practice, you know. And even when we all 13 play, you know, I got to walk between 3 groups to try to.
Roper's defense very aware of the presence of Menina Pepic, 16 goal scorer for Livonia Clarenceville this season.
There's nowhere to go, so we have some equipment inside in the gym.
Clarenceville, 8 sophomores and 2 freshmen listed on the roster today, so they're trying to build towards the future. They do have one of the top sophomores in the entire conference in Pepic.
Salinas. Stott. Play it up top. Ball makes its way to Bella Jones. Capitan, for the time being, makes its way back now to Stott. Again, she scored the 3rd goal of the afternoon. Now Salinas. Sophia. Ball slotted into the 18, looking for Natalia Salinas. Now Bella Jones. We'll see Maeve Stott slide over the senior to take this kick. Sorry, this throw in. A little collision. I think that was a foul. It was. So a free kick coming up here for Salinas and the Roper Rough Riders.
Extremely clean game so far. Just 4 fouls combined between these 2 sides.
Ball's played in from Salinas, headed away by the defense of the Trojans. Stott finding Thomas. Kind of pops up. Settled down now by Black. She's taken down. More of a collision, I think. I'm not sure there's an actual tripping there. I think she just tripped.
Yeah, players kind of got their feet tangled. They're both just jogging through the pitch. Just a 4th foul against Livonia Clarenceville so far this afternoon.
Salinas. Is it inside? Natalia. Padron. Down by the end line. Tries to slot it in, and this will make its way out of touch. I actually think it hit off of Clarenceville and the Trojans, which would make this the 12th corner of the afternoon, and it did.
12th corner kick, as you said, first of the second half coming up for Bloomfield Hills Roper. To create another chance off this set piece by the corner flag. Up comfortable 5-0 here. Just under 30 minutes to play of this 80-minute contest.
Natalia Salinas will take this kick. I think Sophia's getting tired. She did 11 corner kicks, 2 goals. A couple of assists as well as this ball is played towards the top of the 18 towards Stott. Tracked down by Thomas as is played back centrally and then cleared up towards midfield. Good work by Webster. Find her teammate in Salinas. Pushed out wide. That's Salinas. Back post. Not a bad idea. Looking for Anderson and just wasn't able to collect that cleanly.
You mentioned a minute ago Gabriella Webster, the sophomore for Bloomfield Hills Roper. She plays club soccer in the Michigan Jaguars youth system. Very aggressive defender. She's scooped up a lot of passes, made a few steals here today, but she's quick to get forward as well, kind of starting that attack out of the back line. The Roper's defense very solid here today, just giving up 4 total shot attempts, 1 shot on goal, and 1 corner kick by Livonia Clarenceville. So Webster and Cummey doing the dirty week on that back line. There you can see she made yet another steal.
Salinas plays it back to Tom. Well, nope, I thought she played to Thomas. Instead, she hang on to it. Up that far side. The drone will try and track it down. Ivory was there defensively for the Trojans. Might be asking why this game might not be on our national platform, the National Soccer Network, on YouTube and Roku TV. And the simple answer to that one is the MHSAA's rules and regulations do not allot for national coverage of their local high school sports. So it can be handled by a local outlet, which we are within the MHSAA, as this ball's played into the 18. So the reason why it's not on our national platform is because we are not allowed to do that. So this game is available on Facebook, is available on Twitter, is available on our YouTube channel, MI Sports Network, and the NFHS Network, because those are our local media outlet environments that allow us to stream games like this here in the state of Michigan. Ball makes its way back into the hands of Carlson. She's been quite, I would say, uninterrupted and really not so busy this afternoon. And in high school soccer too, if you were up by 8 goals after 40 minutes, the game does conclude. Ball makes his way into the 18. It's loose. Finally kind of cleared out of danger and brought up this near side. All played inside. Salinas getting the space and the gaps right now in this defense, and how spread out it is and how far back it's positioned. Not something you see quite often.
Roper's done a good job of getting a lot of players touches, both on the front line, the midfielders, and that back line. They've made some substitutions. They've played quite a few players here today. Even though it's the same core players that have been involved with the scoring, but they have done a great job defensively, limiting those chances. They've moved the ball around well, playing it back to that back line.
Stott played it inside to Salinas. Back to Stott. To get past the defender.
Stott had the 3rd goal for Roper late in the first half.
Good right to Reich. I believe that was Grace and Reich. Tracked down by Jackson on that far side. 55th minute. Watching the MHSAA girls soccer produced by the Michigan Soccer Network on the MI Sports Network. Salinas. Foul was called there against the Trojans. I believe that was Qatari credited with the foul. Detroit Tigers coming with a victory. They win 10-2 over the Colorado Rockies. Having a good start to their season as Webster will put this one back in play. We're right into a wide open Salinas. She's trying to cut it back. She had her sister right there. Maybe she just wants that hat trick. Played back into Salinas. She'll get a touch. She'll look to take a shot. That's blocked. All played back towards the end line. Salinas will track it down. She met defensively. She'll get past. And so touched. Oh, just past that near post. This Lestat unable to connect that one on frame to give the Rough Riders a 6-0 lead.
You know, John, with the state tournament starting in 3 weeks already, that means in just under 6 weeks, the final weekend of the 2024-25 school year in terms of sports will conclude up in East Lansing with girls soccer, softball, and baseball all on the same complex. It's kind of a fun weekend to cover, but we're looking forward to the 2025-2026 school year. If you're interested in our broadcasting crews coming out to a sports event near you across the state of Michigan, reach out to our front office here.
All played in. Salinas, 59th minute. 5-0 to score. Salinas plays it into the 18. Last night, Romeo High School when Utica Eisenhower in a battle looking to crown a MAC Red champion. Romeo is one step closer. Played right back up, tracking it down. Ball makes its way to Stott. Stott looking for Salinas.
A couple of league championships across Michigan were decided here in the last few days. Congratulations to the Jets of Garden City, Western Wayne Athletic Conference champions, 3rd year in a row. Otsego out in the Kalamazoo area clinched at least a tie in the Wolverine Conference.
Look at this shot coming in off the post, and that finds the back of the net. And just like that, a hat trick for Natalia Salinas, and it's 6-0.
Just 4 shot attempts here in the second half for Bloomfield Hills Roper, but 3 of those were on target. They've all found the back of the net. That shot by Salinas was from distance, long chip shot well outside the box. Hits off that left goalpost into the back of the net, so 6-0 advantage here. So Roper in great command of this game. If they hold on, they will advance to 1 on the year and improve to 3-4 in the league. Roper has shown up here today. Again, they have 6 seniors getting a lot of minutes for this team. A lot of experience. Only Clarenceville does have 5 seniors in the roster, but we talked about this early in the broadcast. They have a pair of freshmen and 8 sophomores listed on their side. Clarenceville should bring back 12 of their 17 players. players. Roper, which has 16 players on their varsity this year, will lose some big cornerstone pieces, especially offensively, from this unit.
Hard collision on that far side. One back by the Rough Riders. 20 minutes to go in this game. Played up. Salinas. All played back now. Webster. Christina Black was the closest Trojan.
Just about 19 minutes left here in the second half.
Look at this now as an opportunity. Out comes the goalkeeper. A wide open net. Unable to get a shot on frame. Lydia Carlson coming out. She was unable, Christina Black, to get the shot on goal. I mean, look at this. I mean, ball coming into the 18, into the 6, and out for the second corner of the game here for the Trojans.
Grayson Reich tried to redirect that ball, but she was able to get a foot on it. It went off a Roper defender there along that touch line. So second corner kick coming up. So we love nothing more to spoil this shutout as we see Pepic, Lily goal scorer, scooping up the ball to take it over to the southwest corner of the field to serve this corner kick into the mixing bowl.
All comes in. The shot from Jackson blocked. Salinas now will bring it up. Finding her sister.
Clearly a foul on that as Sophia Salinas was tripped up just inside midfield. There's a free kick coming up for the Rough Riders. This is a good 40, 45 yards out. Great opportunity for Roper to kind of serve this into the box and see if they can create another chance off this set piece. Inside 17 minutes left.
This ball is played into the 18. Track down. Black was to go through two defenders. Good work by that back line. Salinas. She'll go down again. Pepic was there.
Top players from each team kind of battling it side by side.
So actually a free kick coming up. Ball is played into the 18 from Salinas. Hit off. Number 13, Bella Jones, out for a corner kick. This is number 13 on the afternoon. So the corner kick count is 13-2 in favor of Roper. Beautiful look there at the blue skies here.
Yeah, no clouds after all the storms we've had the last 2 or 3 weeks. Nice to see that blue up above the tree lines as the trees are starting to bloom their leaves.
Well, no, I don't think this is actually a. They're not going to say it's a corner kick. My bad. Okay, 12-2, Dan.
Yeah, I thought they went off a Clarenceville player as well, so my bad as well.
think it's your bad, Dan. I think it's, it's sometimes, you know, when we just don't get it right. Sometimes it's not right. Salinas up this near side. Down by the end line, she'll cut it back. Gonna get by Pepic, and then Pepic will knock it. Of course, I crossed off the 13. Yeah. Now it's there. It is. You know, it's like, man, you know.
And schoolie mark as well on my stat sheet. Nevertheless, corner kick number 13 coming up for the Rough Riders of Bloomfield Hills Roper. Inside the final 15 minutes of the second half, and Roper up comfortably 6-0 at this stage. They've had a great all-around effort offensively and defensively here today at United Wholesale Mortgage.
Ball coming in, and it did hit off of a Trojan to make it the 14th corner kick now of the afternoon. I don't know what the record is for corners in the game, Dan. Do we even know?
I've seen a couple games in my life with a team having over 20. I don't know what the high school record is. State of Michigan, or if anything is kept in that category in terms of state record.
Interesting concept. We should talk. It'd be like a home run pairing game.
Another corner kick coming up here. 69th minute as this ball comes in, and it goes in the back of the net. And just like that, we have an Olympico from Sophia Salinas. And just like that again, it's now 7-0.
Sophia Salinas, 3 goals, 3 helpers on the afternoon. Again, the all-conference first team player from a year ago. Jack of all trades for the Rough Riders there. She serves it in, bends it into that near post, one hopper over that goal line. Roper up 7-0.
So both sisters, it is a Salinas show here today. Now, ball is loose inside the 18. Finally tracked down by Carlson.
So Pepic trying to make something happening on that offense end. She's dancing through traffic, trying to get by a couple defenders, but Lydia Carlson, the senior goalkeeper for Roper, is making that sliding scoop to prevent Pepic from getting a shot off close range.
I will say, for a stat standpoint, Dan, this is simply, you couldn't ask for a more simple stat scenario. Trying to get names properly, just Salinas. So, yeah.
Yes, May 8th, 2025 should ever be known as the Salinas Day. The Salinas sisters, Bloomfield Hills Roper, getting it done on all points of the compass here on the soccer pitch at United Wholesale Mortgage, Pontiac, Michigan.
Might not have started the clock. That's on me.
We've been out here for a few other games in the last couple of years for some amateur men's soccer, some Michigan Soccer Association is more like an adult rec league, which does a state tournament for men's and women's soccer every June and July. We're out here for a handful of games last summer.
All played out wide to Salinas. Down towards the 18. Slots it into the 18. Makes its way to Stott. She scored that third goal and won back by Ivory. Down goes, that's Padron that went down. Hitting half off the hand of Maddie Wallace. They'll call that one back.
So you see up in that scoreboard at UWM, 11:26 is all that's left here in the second half, unless Roper can find a way to get an 8-0 advantage. And in a mercy rule, but 7-0 as that free kick is taken just a stride inside midfield.
Ball is played in towards Carlson. That one is.
Looked like that might have deflected wide off a Roper defender.
I think it did.
If so, this should be the third corner kick of the game coming up for the Trojans. Second of the second half. Let's take a look of Leah Carlson in her back line. They've done a great job limiting those chances by Livonia Clarenceville this afternoon. So Nadia Jackson, the senior for Livonia Clarenceville, getting set to take this corner kick. She was all-league second team last year as a junior and made first team as a sophomore, so she's been one of the key players here 4 years for the Trojans.
Looks like Jackson was in an offside position.
So that's the first offside, I believe, whistled in this entire game. Now inside the final 10 minutes. So Mortgage at this Michigan Independent Athletic Conference matchup. Lots of soccer on a group of networks coming up here over the course of the next few months. Outside of high school varsity, we have I would say a ton of amateur and pre-professional soccer around the country. YouTube channels and a Roku TV channel as well. We talked about this being just on our local channel. Michigan High School Athletic Association does not allow its boys and girls soccer games to be broadcasted on our national channel.
Doesn't allow any sports. It is a all sports situation, and even because again you see a lot of times you'll see ESPN will go out and do broadcasts of basketball, and you'll see those games.
Yeah, I've seen national broadcasts of football and basketball on the networks. I've seen some like national track meets. But if you are a student athlete, like if you compete in track and field here in the spring, once the state finals conclude, you can continue to compete, but you have to compete unattached or for your actual club team. So if I say I am a great track athlete at a high school in Michigan, like at Oak Park or something like that, and I'm going to like the Nike Junior Nationals in North Carolina or a lot of other national meets, I can compete. I can even run a relay with my teammates, but it must be under the banter of your club team. So you cannot compete at a national track meet in cross country and track or any other sport with your high school jersey. You also can't travel too far out of the state. So there's certain states where Michigan schools can compete against, like Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, but you will not see a Michigan team, load up the school bus and take, a basketball team or a soccer or football team down to Florida or, Phoenix, Arizona. That is too far in terms of the rulings of MHSAA.
Which is interesting because I know that St. Mary's, they played a game against IMG at Oak University this past winter.
Yeah, but they
did
not
travel.
On the road. They did not travel.
They traveled here. So very interesting. I don't think they just traveled here for that game, though. That'd be kind of a. I know that IMG Academy charges like $100,000 a year for you to go to their school, but I don't know if they have a budget to just come up for one game to Michigan. And maybe they do, Dan. Maybe they do.
Well, we've called some youth soccer games down at the IMG Academy here in the last 6 months. We did the USL Academy League National Championships, which was 16 teams around the country back in December. It's an amazing complex down there near Bradenton, Florida.
Oh, we played right back into the mix.
Inside the final 7 minutes, so 6 minutes and change is all that's left up on that scoreboard. Clarenceville would love nothing more to spoil that shutout here down the stretch. And Roper, if they score the next goal, the game would end in a 8-goal mercy. Roper did a great job defensively. They've only given up 6 shot attempts and 3 shots on frame. Excuse me, 1 shot on frame and 3 corner kicks in this game. For anyone who joined us late, Sophia Salinas with the Olympic goal, 3 goals and 3 assists for the senior captain, all-league first-team player. She put up some big numbers here this season for the Rough Riders, and she has done it all here today against Livonia Clarenceville.
Makes his way into the hands of Chloe Jones. Back into the Reich. She'll play it up over midfield. So 5:20 to go in this game. Jonathan Turner alongside Dan Stickrad. Happy to have you along wherever you're watching. All down the far side, but the flag will go up.
So offsides number 2 against the Trojans. Just inside the final 5 minutes of this Michigan Independent Athletic Conference matchup between Livonia Clarenceville and Bloomfield Hills Roper. These two teams came in tied for 6th in the MEAC. Roper will not drop in the standings. They'll be at least no worse than 6th place after today's game, and Clarenceville will slide down. There's 9 teams this year. So what's happened in the last couple of years is Novi Christian was unified with Southfield Christian the last couple of years. Now they are competing at nearby Wixom St. Catherine of the Catholic High School League, and then Sterling Heights Parkway Christian has been unifying with some different teams here the last few years, and they are now unifying with Rochester Hills Lutheran Northwest. So that's why you only see 9 teams in the standings. And then Whitmore Lake does not have a team. They have allowed a couple of their players to play over at Pinckney High School out there north of Ann Arbor here the last couple of school years. Which is good to see. If you don't have enough players to have a program in a particular sport, it's nice to, the MHSA has allowed, for quite a while here, a good 25 to 30 years, unified programs. You'll see it's very common in a sport like hockey where there'll be 3, 4, 5 schools feeding into one program, so maybe those 4 or 5 schools don't necessarily have enough. There's one school that will host the program. They'll come up with a different nickname and they'll allow several schools to feed into that so they can at least have a high school team, so to speak.
So goal kick coming up here in the 78th minute in a 7-0 game here in favor of Roper and the Rough Riders. Stock goes down hard after that collision with Christina Black. Obviously based on this game, you take a look here at your live standings. This is the standings updated based on Roper coming away with the 3 points here today, so they would move into 4th. That would be where they would sit. Obviously Roper is currently playing right now against Lutheran Northwest. We bring it back out here live to the field. And Padron, look at this. Now she'll be in the 18. That's finally cleared away. Great work defensively by Gabby Stewart. But Padron goes down hard.
I think there was an intent in that as well. Just players from each team got their legs tangled up.
I think it might be a corner. It's got to be at least a corner.
It's got to be a corner kick. That clearly went off a Livonia Clarenceville.
Which would make it 15 to 3 in corners today. And in fact, it is.
4th corner kick of the second half, number 15 overall. I would assume that this would be one of the higher totals for Bloomfield Roper in their history, at least for the season. Let's see, so take this set piece. Looks like number 16, Natalia Salinas. She's got the brace here. Excuse me, the hat trick. She scored the 2nd, 5th, and 6th goals for Roper.
Ball comes in and one back by Roper. Last minute of play.
Another steal by Webster. She has been all over that back line for Roper here today.
Look at this now, Black looking to find maybe a consolation goal here for Livonia Clarenceville this afternoon. Referee has a ball in his hand up this near side.
So it looks like there is a youth club game in boys soccer getting ready to compete here in just a couple minutes after the conclusion of this high school girls soccer match.
Up this near side. Good work. Out of play. Waning moments. And that, in fact, is the final whistle here as this game comes to an end in favor of Roper. A 7-0 victory here today. Dan, any final thoughts here?
Bloomfield Hills Roper dominated for an entire 80 minutes. Their defense, again, not allowing very many chances. They only conceded 6 total shots. 1 shot on frame as Lydia Carlson made the only save there in the first half. And Clarenceville only had 3 corner kicks. But up and down that offensive statistical categories, Roper had a ton of hash marks. 15 corner kicks in this game. 22 total shots, 8 shots on target up on that scoreboard. 7-0 victory for Bloomfield's Roper as they proved to 8-6-1 here with 3 weeks left in the regular season of that 2025 campaign. The Salinas sisters getting it done on the offensive end. So again, Sophia Salinas with 3 goals and 3 assists, and her sister Natalia Salinas with the brace here to lead the Rough Riders.
Natalia also had a hat trick as well.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep, she did have 3 goals.
Yep, as she was the second one. Actually, she was the first one to score the hat trick. Then her sister got it on the Olympico here in goal number 7 right here coming up on your screen. I want to thank you for tuning in here today on the MI Sports Network and the NFHS Network and Facebook and on Twitter. I want to thank all of our partners alongside Dan Stickred. I'm Jonathan Turner. Have a great rest of your Thursday evening. And for one final time, the final score here, 7-0 in favor of Birmingham Roper and the Rough Riders over the Livonia Clarenceville Trojans. So long, everybody.